everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today we are here with the end of the year book tag. Let's jump right into it. This was a tag that was created by Ariel Bissett. I will have her channel listed down below, but we are nearing the end of the year and I'm starting to realize that I've got some reading goals that I really need to start implementing to get myself through the end of the year. If you haven't already seen my arcs that I still want to read video, I will have that listed in a card up above, but I do have a good number of arcs that I still want to get through for the end of the year to get myself ready for ALA midwinter, and I'm hoping to try to fit those in over the next couple of months. But I do have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about for the end of the year book tag, and then I think after this I might just go ahead and film my November TBR. But here are some books that I want to talk about. I've got my laptop over here with the questions because I don't know them offhand. There's not that many, so this should be a pretty quick little tag video, little chit chat about the end of the year, which I cannot believe is coming up this quickly. Also, disclaimer, I've mentioned it a ton of times, but November is NaNoWriMo. It is National Novel Writing Month. I am focusing a lot on writing, so I don't know how much is going to be read. I will be participating in Lala's Buzzwordathon this time around because I have a ton of books with numbers in them. So do look forward to that because I think I'll do like a separate reading vlog for that, and I'm hoping to really knock out a good number of books. First up is, are there any books this year that I've started that I didn't finish that I really want to finish by the end of the year? The answer is yes. I do have Chainbreaker by Tara Sim, which I did start, not very much, but I did start the audiobook of this, and then I realized I really wanted to read and annotate it because I did read and annotate the first one, which was Timekeeper, and I really, really loved it. One of my goals that I like to set for myself before the end of the year is to finish up series that have been ongoing. And now that I have the second and third book in this series, I really do want to finish it before the end of the year. So I'm really hoping that this makes a TBR soon and that I can actually knock this out because I did technically start it and I would like to finish this one up. One that I started and that I think I want to finish, or at least try again, is Tamsin Mears' Gideon the Ninth. I started this, I got about 90 pages in and I put it down because I just was not feeling it. This is the finished copy. I don't think I'm going to read this one. I'll probably end up reading my arc instead because that's what I started reading. I don't know if this is going to be one that I love. I'm going to at least attempt it again. Again, we've got a 9th in here, so this may end up in my Buzzwordathon TBR if I don't try it before then. I'm going to at least try to finish this one. We'll see. I also did get kind of into Beartown by Frederic Backman. I listened to the audiobook, or I started listening to the audiobook of this. I don't have a bookmark in here, so I don't know how far in I am. I would say like 60, 70 pages in. I am enjoying it. It's definitely slow to build. I think the audiobook might be the way that I want to go for this one. I don't know if I'm going to have the availability to renew it because it is an audiobook through my actual library and I had to wait for it. And I'm pretty sure it's going to expire and I'm not going to finish it. So maybe this will end up being one that I finish this year. I also think it's one that I may 5-star. So we'll see how that one goes. The next question is if there's any autumnal books that I'm going to use to transition me into the end of the year. The answer is no. I think that's pretty much what my entire October TBR was, which was like all the spooky fall reads. But I would like to try to transition into winter with The Simple Wild, which is set in Alaska and has been on my TBR for way, way, way too long. So I may try to fit this in before the end of the year as well. But for me, the end of the year, fall and into winter is a fantasy heavy time for me. It just feels right. So I'm not sure if this is gonna happen, but with like the Alaska vibes, this is like the closest I could get to a transitional book that's not a genre, right? Like in general, fantasy is where I lean, but this one is like maybe fitting for that. So we'll see. Are there any new releases that I am still waiting for? And I do have arcs for November that I'm like excited about, and then I have some that have already come out in October that I didn't get to yet. I only have one for December, and it's a contemporary that's kind of flying under the radar in general. I'm not overly excited about. Most of the arcs that I'm really, really stoked for are 2020 releases. I didn't want to include them in this one. So in terms of releases that are still coming out that I have already on my shelves, no. But I am obviously waiting for Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which is the third of that Folk of the Air series. The Cruel Prince, and The Wicked King. I do have 3 copies that are ordered. I'm getting the Owl Crate box, I am getting a UK edition because that's what I had from Fairy Loot, and I'm getting the Barnes & Noble exclusive because that's the 3 that I have for the other set. So I will have 9 books altogether for the 3 books. It's too much. I'm aware it's too much, but I am really looking forward to that, and I have it pre-ordered a whole bunch of different places, so hopefully I'll be able to read that pretty quickly. What are the 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? I have a lot. Again, I have the arcs I want to read before the end of the year video, which I had referenced earlier. I definitely want to read Chainbreaker and Firestarter. Those are just very important to me that I truly, truly want to read. And I'd like to read those before I read Tara Sim's arc for Scavenge the Stars, because I want to just try to like get her writing in order. One of the other books that I have to read before the end of the year, because my niece had asked that I read 10 different books in 2019, is This Mortal Coil by Emily Subata. I am very into this. I'm really excited to read it. So this is one that will end up on either November or December TBR because it's one that I for sure want to get to before the year is up. My niece also did say that she wanted me to read the 5th season, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I also would really like to get to Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. I did pre-order this gorgeous Waterstone and I have not read it yet. So this is one that I would like to do, again, in the vein of finishing out series and wrapping things up before the end of the year. This is out, obviously, it is the end of a series, and I do like to just kind of wrap all of that up before the end of the year so I can go in with like a fresh slate into the new year with all the new series and all the ongoing series and all the new releases. So this I would like to happen in November or December. And then the other book that I would really like to read this year is The Ninth House, or just Ninth House, by Leigh Bardugo. This is the gorgeous UK edition that I ordered from Waterstone. But this is signed and not personalized, but this is the UK. If you haven't seen the UK edition yet, it really is gorgeous. It has this beautiful crest on the front and the scales on the side. It is stunning. And I know that this is very polarizing, but I am fine with adult and with dark, and I know going into it kind of what I'm getting into. So I am really excited to read this and see what I think about it. Again, we've got 9th, so this may end up on my buzzword readathon TBR. Who knows? But regardless, I want to make sure that this gets read before the end of the year. Is there a book that you think I will 5-star and might end up one of my favorites for the year? And there's 2 that I think could potentially be 5 stars. I don't know that they would be my favorite of the year just because I feel like that's really, really, really solid right now, and I don't know that anything's going to usurp that. But I do still want to get to Girl Made of Stars because it's just been way too long. I had this on my Contemporary-a-thon TBR, and then my mental health declined, and it was not something that I could handle. But I do want to try to get to this before the end of the year. It's just been weighing on me that this is one that I haven't read yet, so I would like to try to get to this. I would also really like to get to You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno. I have not typically 5-star Katrina Leno's writing in the past. I feel like this one has like a darker subplot. I mean, all of her stuff is a little bit dark, but I feel like this one in general I might connect with a little bit more, or at least I want to know if I connect with it or not. Also, Birthday by Meredith Russo, which is tucked away back behind there. I have a feeling I'm going to 5-star that, and I'm going to really, really love it. I assume that if I read that, it will end up on my best of the year list. So that's another one that I really want to get to as well before the end of the year. Like I said, coming up into the next month and a half, I am reading a lot less and writing a lot more. So we're going to see how that works, because a lot of these large fantasies are going to take a little bit of time. But I am very excited to get to all of those. This is just kind of where I am right now. The last question is if I've already started planning for 2020. And the answer is no, not officially. Outside of knowing that I'm going to ALA in late January, outside of knowing that I have arcs already for 2020 that I need to read, I haven't set any specific goals. I haven't set any kind of TBRs. I know a couple things that I'm doing in terms of like events and things like that, but I haven't planned outside of knowing that like February will be another Contemporary-a-thon and, you know, things like that. I don't get that far ahead of myself just because you never know what life is going to throw at you, and the best laid plans usually go to waste because you just have to adapt on the fly. So I'm better off waiting until a little bit closer before I start making like any kind of solid plans. You guys know I tend to fill my TBRs really early and then I change my mind and everything changes. And then that's not at all what my wrap up looks like. So I'm going to try to hold myself back from making any solid plans, but I am excited for the next year and to see what it brings me and to see what kind of things I get up to, what book events I go to, what kind of traveling I do, how my writing progresses. Hopefully my journey with querying goes a lot further. I'm excited for 2020, but no solid plans yet. That's been everything though for my end of the year book tag. Thank you very much to Ariel for creating this oh so long ago. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what is on your top of your must read before the end of the year list. I'm always curious to know what you guys are really, really excited to read. So definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know what it is that you just cannot wait to get to before the end of the year, or that you've been putting off and are mad that you haven't gotten to yet. And that's going to be it for this one. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye guys.